All right, so here's a quick tutorial that's based off of a tutorial that I saw Tracy Hamilton do. So I was watching Tracy Hamilton's tutorial, and you can see the address up here. And what she's talking about is using the Alt key and your mouse in PowerPoint to fine-tune the placement of objects. So what she was building was a frame, and then she wanted to create like a mitered edge look. And then the problem was that the lines don't snap, and they snap into place, and so they don't always line up. But if you press the Alt key and move your mouse, then you can fine-tune that. So while she was doing that demo, it made me think about how I might approach actually building out a picture frame like that. And there are 2 or 3 different ways you could do that. So I thought I would share that, and then really talk about how this speaks to the whole value of being in the community and helping each other out. So Tracy's idea, which was a really good idea, and again, let's zoom on it. Her idea was, if I click and move this, you'll notice it kind of snaps in place. But if you hold the Alt key down, I can move it, and it moves freely. So Tracy's idea is a good tip, but her idea sparked some ideas in me in terms of how I would build a frame. Now I'm sharing that. So Tracy shared an idea, I'm sharing an idea. People can build off of those ideas, and then you can come up with additional ideas. And if somebody did another tutorial and shared that, then we just continue to learn from each other. So it's really the power of the value of being part of a community and sharing with each other so that we can learn from it. And even people who have been doing this stuff for a long time have learned. So I don't really create a lot of picture frames, but the fact that she shared that got me thinking about how I would do a picture frame. And then I've got 3 different things I can show you. So the first way we could do a picture frame is do something like this, where you just create your rectangle shape, put your picture centered into your frame, and then you do the mitered edge look like Tracy did. Another way you can do that is there's actually a picture frame type tool. So it's called Frame, or it's a PowerPoint object. So what's nice about this is your frame is always going to be uniform. Here you're trying to move the picture around in the right location, but with the picture frame it's uniform, and if I paste my picture on there and I send it to the back, it's going to be behind my frame. So the one thing I can do is when I click on the frame, I can get it looking the right way, and then I can move my picture around, and it doesn't matter where I move it because it's behind it. And so you get a nice look that way, and then you can still do the mitered edge. Another technique would be to use this shape here, which is the diagonal stripe, and if we create that, we've got our stripe here, and we can make it a little thinner. And so I can now hit the Shift key and get it to move in these angles here and get it upright. And then, as you can imagine here, I'm just going to duplicate it, and then I can shift that, and then I can line that up and line it up better. Let's copy this here, Control C. We'll group this so it's already grouped, and we'll do Control V, and now I can take my shapes and then build out the rest of the, let's do this here. So I can build out my frame. So you get the idea. What's nice about this particular technique is I have control over the individual panels, so that's really nice, and I get the mitered look. Another way is just to go ahead and use this beveled button, and I kind of like this one because the beveling already gives me kind of a texturing or shadowing to it, and I can just thin it out. If I take the penguins here, let's take the penguins and we set it on top of it, so you can see how if we put the penguins on here, let's just squeeze them in so they fit on here. So if I've got my penguins on here, what I can do is I can take the penguins, I can use an inside shadow. So now there's going to look like there's some depth, so it's more of a frame look. And then I'm going to fill the shadow here, or the frame, with a texture. So I'm going to fill it with this wood look. And so now I've got a texture, and I've got this thing, and I can get rid of the shape outlines. So now I've got something that actually looks more, I frame up my picture better, but I've got something that actually looks like a picture frame. So a few different ways you can do it, but the main thing is that we share our tips and we help each other.